Welcome to the Asset Management Mastery Podcast. Your hosts, Gary Lipsky and Kyle Mitchell, have more than 50 years of combined experience in operations and management and more than 25 years of real estate investing experience. This show focuses on educating syndicators and apartment owners on how to build systems and manage their properties more efficiently to become a best-in-class operator. 100% straight talk. Let's jump in.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Asset Management Mastery Podcast. I'm your co-host Kyle Mitchell, also joined by Gary Lipsky. This segment is focused on educating operators, building better systems, and becoming a best-in-class operator. Also be sure to check out our Facebook group, Asset Management Mastery. All right, today on the show we have Guido Nunez. How you doing, Guido?
I'm doing well, Kyle.
Awesome. Well, if you can start by telling the listeners a little bit more about yourself and what you currently do.
Yeah, so I'm located in California. And on the professional side, I have a W-2 job, but I also do the investment side as well. I am in about 175 doors with 8 million assets under management directly under me.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us today, Guido. I'd love to talk about some of the unique things that you were telling me that you did on your 16-unit property. I understand you received some rebates. Tell the listeners how you went about it and how much money you saved.
Yeah, it was an interesting story. So it's a 16-unit building in downtown California. It's a great spot. And we knew it was going to be, heavy value add, a lot of work. But, from the get-go, I got this letter from, the city just kind of telling us about the rebate program around low flow, toilets. And that was kind of like the first foray into this whole rebate, world and free money, as I call it. I really get excited when I see those rebate letters now. But, I went online and just kind of understood how easy it was. So you go on there and you apply for it. It's amazing how straightforward the process is. If there are funds in the system, it'll reserve. It'll give you a ticket for the reservation. And then you just go, buy the product out of pocket. Once you do the installation, you send the receipts back in to the city. And then they reimburse you shortly thereafter. On that program, they were providing toilets for about $200 per toilet, which was it was free money. We did it about I think we saved about $3,000 on low flow toilets total, and then we saved about 35% on the water utility that just instantly dropped. We had them all installed. Now it's like the endless gift, Gary. It just keeps on, giving us savings, every month and every year. And beyond that, it's also the benefit, the CapEx benefit that now we can advertise eventually when we sell the building that it's a low flow, building. Because with that program, we also got shower heads, low efficiency shower heads. So it's an amazing program. I mean, I can go on. I have a couple of tips too I could share.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a couple tips, go say to our listeners real quick.
Yeah, I mean, the couple of tips that I'll say is the first one is it should be standard with asset management to every 6 months or so go on the internet, type in rebates in the city you're in, see what's out there. They're definitely out there. California is a big green city. Go green, and so there's a lot of different types of rebates. Right now, they have something around water heaters. They're offering $1,000 rebate. That's big. Second tip that I'll give everybody is if you see a rebate that you're interested, apply for it because those funds can go quick. If you don't go through with it, no harm, no foul. You just won't get the money. But at least you have the reservation. And if you do go through with it, you'll thank yourself later.
I think that's great advice. Thank you. Because I know, there's some green loan programs out there, but not, sometimes you could still get city money and you forget that there are other options out there. And that's great advice. Thank you. Yeah. You were also telling me that you were working with your neighbor to get some economies of scale. Tell the listeners a little bit about that.
Yeah, that one. So as you know, when you deal with smaller buildings, you lose some of the efficiencies. And one of the main ones that you lose is, the scale efficiencies around maintenance. So, I learned really quick in this business that you just have to be unafraid to go up to anybody and everybody anytime if you think they can help you with your circle of operations. So one day I saw a maintenance truck in the building next to us, larger building. Kind of approached the guy, and I found out that the guy was the maintenance guy for that building, but he also lived there. So we kind of just talked and worked out a plan where he would take care of non-emergency type maintenance projects for us, after 4 or on Saturdays. So we were able to batch together and knowing kind of what I already pay before that person came aboard, we saved some monies on that side too.
That's great. Yeah, 'cause even with a 16-unit property, there are ways that you can get economies of scale.
Yep.
So it's great for people with smaller buildings, just starting out. And I know you've got some other ways to increase income. Why don't you tell the listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I just started thinking of how to increase our revenue, our top line, and I went with a couple of ideas. We had a vending machine at one point, but that didn't work out. Kind of started getting broken into. But one day I just started thinking about pet rent and how we can kind of follow that path. And we started getting calls when we were putting vacancies out in the market if we accepted pets. So that kind of led us down the path to converting the building, getting rid of all the carpets, putting LPV, or bringing back some of the old original hardwood floors in the building. But I think ultimately the pet income, because we charge about $35 a pet for small pets under 10 pounds, was a big benefit to us on the top line. Yeah, but it gave us a competitive advantage in the market, because what we found through our rent comps, only about half or less of the buildings around us allowed pets. So every time we put out a market information, we made sure that we advertise pet friendly. And that always, and from that end, they'll always boost up the number of prospects we got.
That's great. And then you were also renting your refrigerators as well?
Yeah, that was a funny story. So we had a tenant, she got I think a job offer in Europe, and she just bought a brand new refrigerator. And, on her way out, she's just offered it to me for next to nothing. And I looked at it, it was brand new. And so I said, well, I don't know what to do with it. I just knew it was worth more than $30 than what she said you can have it with. So we had a tenant prospect come in, look at the unit. He saw the refrigerator, and he was a first apartment. So he said, hey, can I rent this? So that's when the idea came. I said, sure. I rented it, put it in the rental agreement. And then I realized that what we had was a downtown area that was kind of exploding with professional younger people. And they typically in California, you don't get a refrigerator in your apartment. And this kind of tenant base, they don't come in with a refrigerator, at least half of them do. So we just put a kind of a cost menu in there with a refrigerator line on there. And we just started renting refrigerators if they needed it. Of course, the flip side was I had to go find an appliance store that would sell me refrigerators on a wholesale basis, also cover the warranty on there. But all in all, it worked out. It gave us another competitive advantage, because if tenants leave, they got to buy a refrigerator. That's one thing. And also it added to our top line, because we were bringing additional income.
How much are you charging for those?
About $20. Yeah.
$20 a month?
Yeah, about $20 a month.
Yeah, well worth it.
I agree. I mean, refrigerators based, it depends on what you get. We usually look for semi-new or crash and dent. They'll last you 5 years plus.
I love all the little ideas that you do to your top line. It's great. That's what you got to do.
Yep.
I'm going to pass it over to Kyle to bring us home.
All right, Guido, what is your asset management superpower?
Great question. I'm going to say versatility. And that's not only the ability to kind of pivot between problems and opportunities, but, just kind of having the foresight, to see, the tenant base and to see what else they can need that would be beneficial, and also benefit the competitive advantage of the asset as well. So, versatility.
Awesome. We haven't had that one before, but I think it's a good one for sure. All right. If you can tell listeners where they can find out more about you and what you do.
Yeah, you can look me up on Facebook under Guido Nunez, or follow me on Instagram at the W2 Investor.
Awesome. Thanks, Guido, for coming on. We really appreciate your time. For everyone listening out there, if you like this episode, give us a like, subscribe, and review so we can continue to grow. And we'll talk to everyone next week.
Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please go to iTunes and leave a rating and written review to help us grow and reach more listeners. You can also go to the Asset Management Mastery Group on Facebook so you can reach Kyle and Gary and ask your questions that you want them to answer on the show. Subscribe too so you can get the latest episodes. Lastly, to stay updated, go to assetmanagementmastery.com and sign up for the newsletter. If you're interested in partnering with Gary and Kyle, sign up on the contact page so you can talk to them directly. Thanks again for joining us. Be sure to tune in again next week for another episode.